Truth Seekers. It is Sunday, May 23rd. As you may have noticed, the market continues to dump, and that's all right. Check it out from Bloomberg Wealth here. Crypto hedge funds buy the dip in Bitcoin's week of reckoning. So, while the weak hands, the non professional traders and investors are panicking, the big money, well, the ones who actually caused this dump, are cashing in. So, I know we oftentimes will hear our friends say, it's manipulated, I don't want to be a part of it. All of life is manipulated, all reality is virtual. You create what you envision. So envision wealth and just ride the manipulation that the big money is doing and become wealthy yourself. So, as we get started today, BitcoinDailyView.com. If you go there, everything I'm mentioning today is linked right there at the top. As far as Dogecoin adoption, I think uh, this pretty much proves that Bitcoin, not Bitcoin, but that a Dogecoin adoption is complete. This is a back plate here for a Glock with a little Doge Shiba Inu on it. I gotta admit, I kind of want one. It's pretty cool. Uh, and you never know. Maybe if you ever have to defend yourself, the cops that come to see what happened might be Doge fans too. And maybe let's get you out of trouble. Anyway, Doge adoption absolutely complete, 100%. Boom. There are now Doge Glock parts. This came from Masaki over at Akeda.com, and I'll link to his site over at BitcoinDailyView.com. This is where this came from. He sent it over. Check out his stuff. He does amazing things, an amazing character. I've interviewed him on the Radiant Creator Show before a few times. Great, great person. All right, Doge USDT. Even though it's got adoption beyond all comprehension now, absolute market saturation. It's not helping the Doge chart, although it may be finding some historical support. So anyway, Doge in the 45-minute chart here, going back all the way to the 26th of May. Um, mm, yeah, I mean, 28th of April, 26th of April, sorry. As we can see, it definitely had a pump, and now it's been slowly dumping, which is what many, many alts are doing. That's why I want to mention to people this morning, a little bit all over the place as we get started here, but do note that yes, alt market, it's not so great. Bitcoin market right now, not so great unless you're shorting or you're out. But the M1 money supply, as we all know, this was discontinued. They don't even put it out anymore. Freddie Mac was like, nope, not going to put that out anymore. And because look at this. This is the truth. This is hyperinflation. I mean, people often ponder, I get people ask me quite a lot, how to hedge against hyperinflation. Are we in hyperinflation? And I would just say, look at this M1 money supply. They stopped putting this chart out because of the fear and panic that it would create. So, yes, we are in hyperinflation, and rather than look at charts and graphs for it, when you go shopping, especially at the grocery store, just use your eyes and see. Um, we are definitely in a time of the beginning of hyperinflation, and who knows how bad. This is going to probably double this chart here, which they don't even put out anymore. By the end of 2021, I imagine so. Maybe it will even triple. Who knows? But what you can say for sure is looking at since the beginning of 2020, look at this dollar strength index, nothing but down. There is no hope for this channel here. It is a downwards channel. And anyway, maybe this plane with the wings broken off, which is plummeting towards the ground, will somehow miraculously pull up, but I don't think so. And I don't see why in 2021 the same money printing will not continue. And let's face it, I know people talk about Weimar Germany and such in the hyperinflation, but if you do study that time, we are there. But the difference between well, knowing that history and knowing now is you can do something about it. You don't have to go down with that with the M1 money supply. Now, the crypto market right now this morning is really, really in the red. Bitcoin is plummeting along with Ethereum and everything else. So it is a Sunday. It's a red Sunday for the market. I hope that you were able to hedge out of Bitcoin a little bit. If you did at any point, well, you're probably in the green on that hedge out or that short. With this market volatility, I would love to be shorting on Bybit or Femex or something like that, but I'm just finding that it's too hard to short. The volatility for me personally is too great, so I'm just not doing it. Huge emergency for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin holders. This is a good video. I'll link to this in the over at Bitcoin Daily View. I think this has value. This is a very good video by Crypto Love, and he just makes a point. He just looks at some possible support areas for Bitcoin on the way down, and that he just wants to remind you that the big money is just buying the crap out of it. So it's all about do you think, are you hedged out? Are you waiting for a turn up? Or have you already bought back in? Kind of, what is your strategy? And he references a video by Mr. Uh, Kawasaki. He's a Rich Dad Poor Dad guy. He did a recent interview about the Bitcoin market, and I think it has value. I linked to that over at bitcoindailywview.com also. It's worth a watch this Sunday. Definitely two videos to watch. They're positive and very real. So let's look at the Bitcoin 24-hour trading volume. Looking at 9.6 billion. That is quite a lot. Most of it's on Binance, 5.5 billion, and Coinbase has got 1.6 billion. Nobody else showed up for a billion. So definitely this is a Sunday, and it's a dumping market. But of course, volume is definitely there, although unfortunately it's sell volume. Looking at long versus short sentiment though, on Binance it's 60% long, 39% shorts. So people are definitely putting in some longs over there. Although I'm just going to be honest with you, I think that's kind of risky, and here's why. A huge measurement that I use for Bitcoin health, whether it's in an uptrend or a downtrend, is the daily chart and the 200 moving average. So and the 21 EMA. So Bitcoin, of course, on the daily chart is below the blue line, the blue moving EMA right here, which is the 21 EMA. Boom, so we're below that, not so good. Also, the white moving average here is the 200 moving average. We are below that. We fought it some. We tried to find some support there, but we have not. We are below it. We are some definite solid red candle bodies here below it, or one solid red candle body completely below it. We had an indecisive doji here, as you can see, but it definitely did not show a turnaround. So with that said, look at the daily MACD. Daily MACD histogram is not exactly closing up. A slight trend towards closing positive, but look at that. We're below the mid-range here, and this is a terrible daily MACD. So when will this turn around? I could not tell you. Well, I would just say that, look, we are in a downtrend, and a pretty fierce one. This channel is not too positive looking. So not financial advice at all. Just entertainment purposes only. I really hope at some point on the way down you are able to hedge out, or you're a long-term holder and you just don't care about this volatility, because we are still going to, in this year, of course, in 2021, we're going to all-time highs and beyond. So I'm not worried about that. This current market volatility. So if you're still in, well, I guess maybe it's time to hold. If you got out, great. Just be careful about guessing that bottom. We're going to look at that bottom a little bit closer, where that might be. Let's look at the 12-hour MACD also. Beginning to show some positive signs of life here, but in the 12-hour chart, we're still rocketing below the 21 EMA and the 200 moving average. Let's look at the 4-hour chart. These are very powerful time frames for Bitcoin. 4-hour chart, we are still on course in a downwards trend, below the 21 EMA and below the 200 moving average. And the MACD, once again, crossing negative this morning. Not seeing too much hope there. 2-hour MACD, which I find a great indicator of immediate price action for Bitcoin. Still riding that downwards channel, of course, but you can see it very clearly what's happening here. And also, once again, crossing negative. So if you have any kind of Hail Mary lows you want to guess at and put limit buy orders in, not a bad time to do it. I know we're all trying to find that bottom and buy there, but I'm not a fan of trying to guess the bottom. I'm more of a fan of buying the confirmed uptrend. And I really think with a plummeting Bitcoin like this, if you want dollar cost average down, do so. It's wisdom. It's beautiful. But as far as myself, I hedged out some of my stash, and I really am waiting for the confirmed uptrend. And I might even lose money if I don't get it at the right time. But a hedge out is always almost a certain guarantee of a loss of a little money. But also it is the certainty of not losing a lot of money, and you have, of course, the potential to make some money. Just remember, when you hedge out, capital gains. Anyway, so hedge out with the time to hedge out, of course, here, like on the 45-minute chart, was really back around May 20th or so. Would have been a good time to have hedged out. or even maybe could have seen it coming, May 17th, May 20th. Anyway, that's why I'm doing these Bitcoin daily views again, because I got surprised by this. I didn't expect this dump to be quite so extreme. And I could have myself, I would have been more on it, and I would have hedged out a bit, and I would have helped other people I know hedge out. So I realized that it's time to get back to this so that we're all, even myself and everybody I know who watches these, can be a little bit more on top of things, because I think this caught way too many people off guard. We knew that Bitcoin was a bit weak, but it had been cruising up so hardcore that we were like, okay, fine, a little bit of a pullback. Well, it didn't turn out that way. So this definitely made me a little bit more of an on my game aggressive trader that hedges in and out of Bitcoin some on swings, because I realized that when you're in the green, you're in the green. When you're in the red, you're in the red. And of course, as we all know, ain't no top, there ain't no bottom. And so since that bottom might be moving towards that bottom, maybe it's a good idea to hedge in and out of Bitcoin if you are an aggressive trader, not just a investor. I think being a sort of hybrid investor and trader might be the quickest path to complete enlightenment. So look at the 45-minute charter. As you can see, we broke below the 200 moving average back here on the 11th of May or so, and we've been in this downwards channel. And here's the thing. You can swing this if you want. I know people who are swinging this, and they're doing just fine, but they're white-knuckle pro traders. We've been playing the mid-range here a bit, bouncing off the top, bouncing off the bottom. We're kind of challenging the mid-range here, the heartbeat of this channel this morning. We'll see if we get a bounce there or not. But here's the deal. Rather than, this is just not financial advice, but I just want to kind of put this out there for people. I know I've already mentioned it. Really, the time to get back in if you are out, or yeah, the time to get back in if you are out truly is when Bitcoin comes up and breaks the 200 moving average here, okay, and continues up, gets past that 314, and then along with that, which is this purple one here is a 314, then you want to have an ADX of at least 25, which right now it's high because it goes high when it dumps too, but you want an ADX of at least 25, and you want to have your directional index in the green. So directional index here in the green, and the ADX at 25 at least, and that's where you want to hop back in. This is a great indicator here. I love this one. This is the, sorry, the name of this one for you. I forget sometimes. This is the KRI. Set that for 20, and you'll be doing very good, especially on these shorter time frames. This is the squeeze indicator. All these are mentioned over at Bitcoin Daily View. Just go down to indicators, and you'll find all these. We are actually in right now a negative squeeze. You can see that from the, I call them the white golf balls here. So really in general, we're kind of plummeting. This is a great indicator here. I love this one. It's over there at Bitcoin Daily View. It's a wave Fan Oscillator by Lazy Bear, and it is by far an amazing indicator. I love it. Right now it shows we're definitely at a low, at a bottom. It's not too hard to read once you kind of get familiar with it. It's kind of like a super duper MACD and RSI all in one. Definitely a powerful indicator that I've found over time. So with that said, really wait for on the 45-minute chart a break above the 200 moving average, a break above the 314 moving average. It'll probably retrace a little bit. Make sure it bounces off there. A green KRI, as we put it here, a squeeze indicator in the green, and also a directional index of in the green, and then of course an ADX at least of 25. All these rules are coming from blockchain education. It is a great place to hang out with people all the time, live chat. They have great hybrid trading, and you can find a link to that over at bitcoindailyview.com. Cruise down to blockchain education. If you got a little extra change and you want to take many hours and rock out watching videos and hang out with straight up pro traders, it is a great place to be. I learned more than, there's no appreciation that I could possibly give to them that would even come close. I really did learn to trade there. Been a member of for a couple years. Also, another option is TradeGenius.io. They're linked there too. A great group. You can learn a lot there. I find that being able to be in chats during the day, hanging out with people who have a common trading methodology, even though both their trading methodologies are very different, hey, go for it. I don't want to belabor all this, but also Trade Genius is great. They have different price points. If you just want to hedge into something for maybe a little lesser expensive, because blockchain education, I'm not going to get you, it's expensive. Trade Genius is a little bit, it's less expensive, and they have custom indicators you can get in on, and especially for a new trader, it helps you out, and I love it. Both of them are great, um, and also it's great to have that camaraderie while we're going through times like this. Anyway, with all that said, sorry to belabor all that. Um, Here is the 15-minute chart. As you can see more volatility because, of course, it's a 15-minute chart. But as you can see, we are down, down, down. Now, on the 15-minute chart, Bitcoin is challenging that 200 moving average quite a lot. And you will see slight breaks, like over here where it broke above. But here's the thing. Fine, the 15-minute chart can give you a little bit of a heads up. Okay, look, we're moving up. But really be careful. A lot of manipulation happens right here. You got to realize that 2,000 Bitcoin are bought as a whole by the top three buyers every single day. Only 900 are made. And really, I think a lot of this volatility is because big money, as we saw in that earlier article, wants your Bitcoin. It's finite. There just ain't an endless amount that they can buy. So they want yours. And this market crash to me is 100% manipulation, and that's fine. We hedge out, or we just ride it, or you short it, whatever your plan is. It's a great time to just sit back and learn more. Like you join Trade Genius, join Blockchain Education, and just start learning. Because Blockchain Education has got hours of videos that will make you a effective trader. I mean, boom. Not financial advice. I cannot guarantee it, but it will. But it has made me a ruthless, profit-driven machine. So anyway, both those are great. And when the market's down, it's a great time for education. Great time to find a camaraderie amongst people that you can profit with, who share a similar trading methodology. I thought I'd look at Theta right here. And the thing about Theta, everyone loves it. It's a very popular coin. But you can see this. If you look at really Doge right now, extreme volatility. It's finding a bounce off maybe a low that it's had before with the support and resistance. Theta, if we spin out here a little bit, let's look at a 45-minute chart. Um, you can see it's kind of working on an area where there's been previous support, back here. The only thing is, look, I mean, none of these coins are going to do anything that isn't pretty much manipulated and controlled by, well, Bitcoin. And really, until we get out of this, downward trend, I just think we're all at bay. So if you're going to trade alts right now against USDT, if you're going to trade alts against Bitcoin, for heaven's sakes, have your stops in, because we're going to have an extremely volatile market, as you can see in the red today, until Bitcoin. And I'm just going to say, I'm watching the 45-minute chart. Here's one of my rules of thumb. Okay, I in general just hop out of the market when Bitcoin goes below the 200 moving average on the 45-minute chart. And until it hops back above the 200 moving average on the 45-minute chart and stays there for 24 hours and has a good support sideways, or it's moving up, I tend to realize that the alt market is going to be so darn volatile and probably isn't going to go anywhere other than like what Doge is doing, what Theta is doing right now, what Doge is doing right now. They look like they're a previous support, but the thing is, they're not really going to turn around until Bitcoin is healthier. So this is a volatile time. It's Sunday. I hope you've got some cash on hand, and you can put. I myself have a buy-in at 30K and 25K, a limit, small limit orders, just because. Hey, why not? I'll pick some up there. But just realize, until this turns around, it has not turned around. We don't know when the bottom is until we know when the bottom was. So be careful in this market. We could bounce today. We could also go to 20K. We could go to 10. I don't know. But hopefully you're hedged out. If not, you learned your lesson this time. And I will help everyone that's listening in the future be more aggressive if they are not just long-term holders. And we'll get out up here. And while this is dumping, we'll just kind of be gleeful, and we'll stay quiet while we're making all that money and everyone else is suffering, but we'll help them not suffer next time. So this is the Bitcoin Daily View. Be happy. This is a difficult time. It's Sunday. Hopefully spend some time with the Spirit, and remember what they say here. Enough crying, the market moves. Make and prove real crypto trading badasses. So, boom. stick with it. This will pass. And I think before long we'll be back in Lambo mode. And if you're a shorter, well, let's face it. I mean, you straight up you are in Lambo mode if you're a shorter. Bless you shorters. Anyway, take care.